Hello there, and welcome to the GCSE Geography course overview. My name is Mr. Wright. I'm one of the geography teachers here at Abbey College. I teach GCSE and also A-level, and I teach alongside Mrs. Sharpley, Miss Coleman, and Mrs. Dunphy as well. So geography GCSE is a really popular subject at Abbey College. We've currently got four Year 9 classes teaching geography, which is kind of testament to how popular it is rolling on from Key Stage 3. I'm just going to give you a little overview now of the three different papers that are involved in the GCSE and what you can expect students to be undertaking throughout the 3-year course. So paper 1, there's three papers, they are all sat at the end of Year 11. Paper 1 is a physical paper based on the natural world, and that includes the topics of the challenge of natural hazards, which looks at the structure of the Earth and its interior. It looks at also climatic hazards, earthquakes and volcanoes and tsunamis, and also climate change as well, and some of the issues that might bring in the future. And throughout those topics, we will look at a range of case studies in depth, looking at the Japan tsunami of 2011, the Nepal earthquake of 2015 as examples. We also look at ecosystems as well, which is part of the living world, and our relationship with biomes and the biosphere for human existence. And then we select 2 out of 3 topics from the physical landscape section, which is based on usually rivers and coasts as well. And that completes our content for paper 1, which is a 1 hour and 30-minute exam sat at the end of Year 11. Paper 2, we study most of this content in Year 10, and that is comprised of urban issues and challenges. So that's looking at urbanisation, the world becoming more urban, the emergence of megacities, and some of the issues that can bring up, the social issues and inequalities within those areas. We look at development in the changing economic world and the rise of China as the next world superpower to challenge America. And we also look at resource management as well, which is kind of tied in nicely. It marries up nicely with the living world and our dependence on the living world for natural resources, looking at renewable energies and how viable those alternatives are for the future as we're running out of oil. Again, a 1 hour and 30-minute exam made up of 88 marks at the end of Year 11. That leaves one final paper, which is quite nice. It's replaced the coursework element of GCSE Geography, which was eradicated in 2016. And this paper is a decision-making paper, which you get access to a booklet prior to the exam, a couple of months prior to the exam, a pre-release booklet, which is based on a theme that they may have studied throughout the 3-year course. So it could be deforestation in the Amazon, it could be the threat of orangutans in Borneo, or it could be the exploration for oil in northern Canada. But they'll have time to study that with us in class, and then they'll have to use the knowledge that they've learned from the other 2 papers, be synoptic in order to answer some decision-making questions based on that case study. The latter part of that paper is also made up of the geographical skills and field work, and there'll be 2 field trips that they'll undertake in Year 10 normally, and they involve trips to the coastline to undertake some field work relating to coastal erosion, and also to an urban area which we normally look at locally in Cambridge, looking at how areas can be regenerated to increase economic activity. They'll undertake some field work skills on those field trips, and then they'll have to discuss those in the paper 3 that they'll undertake at the end of Year 11. That one's slightly less weighting, 76 marks and 1 hour and 15 minutes. The average grade of all 3 gives them their 1 to 9 grade for GCSE. So in order to get ahead, what can students do? Well, we recommend that they invest in one of these resources if they're planning on taking GCSE Geography. There is the spec, which is free and can be downloaded online. It isn't very light reading, but it gives them a very clear overview of exactly what is expected for them to learn throughout the GCSE, and there's a link there to the specification. A bit more student-friendly, however, is the GCSE AQA Geography revision and practice book. Now, this has all of the content for the course in there, really condensed down and made student-friendly. And there's also practice questions in there they can undertake based on that content, and also some marked examples as well for them to be able to compare that against. And then you've got the textbook. This is the textbook that we use in school. Students aren't given their own copies, unfortunately, but they can invest in their own copies, and we highly recommend them to do that if they wanted to engage in prior reading prior to lessons, or if they wanted to investigate things a bit further based on what we're covering in class. Again, that can be found online at the link there. It's around about £15, I believe, and that's the Oxford University Press AQA version, which we'd recommend. If you have any questions relating to the GCSE Geography, don't hesitate to get in contact. You can drop us an email and find our emails on the Abbey College website. Thank you.